Every man has a moment, a crystal clear realization that something in his life is fundamentally broken. Mine came on a Saturday night, at a party I never wanted to attend. Cindy, my wife, insisted we go. It was Megan's birthday, one of her colleagues from the office. I barely knew Megan, barely cared. But Cindy, cared. Spent what felt like an hour getting ready, arguing with me over which shirt made me look less boring. That should have been the first clue. The party was loud, the kind of loud that tries to mask how shallow everything really is. People I didn't know, all pretending to have a good time, holding overpriced drinks and laughing a little too hard at things that weren't funny. The air smelled like perfume, sweat, and something fake I couldn't name. Then Megan, drunk, loud, the kind of woman who thrives on attention, decided we should play a game. Truth or dare. Childish. But we played along, smiling like hostages trying not to offend the captors. It was meant to be fun, I suppose. Then Megan turned, eyes bloodshot and mischievous, and pointed at Cindy. All right, your turn. Truth. If you could swap Gordon for someone else, who would it be? The room erupted in laughter. Gleeful, expectant. Everyone waited for the punchline. I waited too. But I wasn't ready for the one she gave. Cindy, grinning too widely, tossed her hair and said, "Swap? Izzy. Ethan from my spin class. He actually listens." The laughter exploded, someone knocked over a drink. Megan cackled like a banshee. I forced out a laugh too. The kind of laugh you give when your wife turns your existence into a joke in front of people you'll never forget, even if you want to. She winked at me like it was harmless. But it wasn't. I swallowed the words I wanted to say, raised my glass, and made a silent toast to my own humiliation. The rest of the night blurred. Cindy kept drinking, kept laughing, especially with Ethan, who showed up halfway through. She looked more alive standing next to him than she had with me in months. I stood in the corner, drink in hand, and realized something that chilled me. I didn't belong. Not at the party. Not beside her. Not even in my own life. On the drive home, the silence in the car was heavier than any screaming match could have been. I gripped the steering wheel so tightly my fingers went numb. Cindy scrolled through her phone, humming like nothing had happened. And that's when I felt it, the shift. That quiet, irreversible fracture between two people. A crack you can't plaster over. When we got home, the garage door rattled shut behind us. Cindy got out first, already kicking off her heels like the night had taken its toll. She didn't even look back. Inside, she dropped her purse on the counter and grabbed a bottle of water. Like nothing happened. "You're mad," she said casually, still not looking at me. "Not mad," I replied, leaning against the doorframe. "Just wondering when I became the punchline." She laughed under her breath. "Oh, come on, Gordon. It was just a game. Grow up." I watched her twist off the cap. Dismissive, detached. "You picked Ethan," I said. I shrugged. "It's not like I meant it." "You sure about that?" She finally turned to face me, something defensive in her eyes. "Seriously? You're going to make a thing out of this? I know you've been texting him." Her face twitched. Barely, but I saw it. That flicker of guilt. "So what if I have?" she snapped. "It's not like you care. You barely notice when I'm in the room." I stepped forward. "You're right. I didn't. Not until tonight." She slammed the water bottle on the counter. "You're being ridiculous. Ethan's just a friend." I didn't respond. I just stared at her. The silence filled every crack between us. "We're just bored, Gordon," she finally said, her voice softer now. "Every couple goes through rough patches." "This isn't a rough patch," I said. "This is you looking for the exit." She opened her mouth, but no words came out. She turned away, busying herself with the mail, with a vase, anything but me. I went upstairs without another word. When I woke the next morning, her side of the bed was cold. That's when I knew we weren't bored. We were broken. Days passed. We drifted through the house like strangers, clipped conversations about groceries, bills, pretending everything was fine. On Thursday I came home early. Her phone was on the counter next to her purse, unlocked. I wasn't proud of it, but I looked. One message preview was all I needed. Had a great time today. Miss you already. From Ethan. That one line said everything she hadn't. A few minutes later, Cindy came down the stairs adjusting her earrings. She froze when she saw me at the table, her phone in my hand. "What are you doing?" she asked. "Waiting." "For what?" I slid the phone toward her. "For the truth." She crossed her arms. "You're being paranoid." "Am I? I'm allowed to have friends. Friends who miss you already." She flinched. "Fine. We had lunch." "With Ethan?" I asked, though I already knew. "Yes. 'Cause he listens. Because he actually sees me." I leaned back, calm on the outside. "Then go be seen." "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you've made your choice. I'm just making it official." Her eyes flashed. "You'd throw away our marriage over a few texts." "No," I said. "You did." She grabbed her keys and stormed out. No tears. No apologies. Just rage. The door slammed so hard the house shook. But I didn't move. I sat in the quiet and realized something that made my stomach turn. I didn't miss her. That night, I slept better than I had in months. The next morning felt different. I made coffee, toasted a bagel, and stared at her contact in my phone. I didn't call. Instead, I got boxes from the garage and started packing her things. Clothes. Toiletries she hadn't touched in weeks. I moved methodically. I wasn't angry. I was done. Halfway through, I heard her car in the driveway. She burst in furious. "What the hell is this?" she snapped. I stood up. "It's what you wanted. You can't just pack my stuff. You left. I'm finishing the job." "This is insane, Gordon. You're being petty." "No," I said. "I'm being clear." She looked around at the boxes, and for the first time, I saw something in her eyes. Fear. She turned and left. No fight this time. A week later, I came home to find her sitting on the porch, mascara smudged, voice shaking. "Please, Gordon. Don't do this." I walked past her. "You need to leave." Inside, she followed me. "We're not done. You're just hurt. We can fix this." I turned to face her. I was hurt. Now I'm just tired. "You're being stubborn. One mistake, and you're ready to erase everything." "It wasn't one mistake, Cindy. It was all the choices you made after. Laughing at me. Texting him. Making me feel invisible." I handed her the folder. "What's this?" "Divorce papers." She stared at them, trembling. "This isn't you." "No," I said. "This isn't you either. Not anymore." She set the papers on the table and looked up. Her eyes were ice. "You're making a mistake." "Maybe," I replied. "But it's mine to make." She left without another word. The house was different. Quieter. But not empty. It was finally mine. Felt right. A month passed. The divorce was finalized. Megan sent a half-hearted apology on Cindy's behalf. I didn't respond. I started running again. Signed up for a woodworking class. Took a solo trip to the mountains. Cindy would have mocked it. But I didn't care. For the first time in years, I was at peace. 6 months later, I saw her outside a coffee shop. She looked worn down, arguing on the phone. She didn't see me. I left through the side door. Later that night, Megan texted again. "Cindy's with Ethan now. It's a mess. She looks miserable." I deleted it without replying. I wasn't rooting for her to fail. I wasn't rooting for her at all. That night I sat in my living room, quiet, calm, surrounded by things I chose. My space, my peace. If Cindy ever wonders what finally broke me, she'll never understand. It wasn't one moment. It was all the little ones. The smiles that weren't for me, the jokes made at my expense, the silence after the laughter. 1,000 tiny cuts, each one slicing a little deeper. Until one day I felt nothing at all. And by then, I wasn't hers to hurt anymore.